Hi, let me show you what I was talking about, okay? You have this one layer right here. Don't mess it up. And over here you had this named work path. Always make sure you at least double click and name the path, or just leave it named path 2, but don't leave it as work path, okay? I'm going to duplicate by dragging down here. Now I have 2 of them, right? So just hide one. Now, right hand click on the mask and say apply layer mask. Okay, now you don't have the layer mask and the layer mask has been applied. Okay, now I'm going to use the lasso tool and I'm going to do a little thing to her mouth and to each eye. Okay, so watch. I'm going to just give about 1/2 inch around the whole mouth, just like this. See that? Now, all I'm going to do is make sure I'm selected on the background copy and hit Command J. Now, look, I have her mouth, right? Okay, so I'm going to name it mouth. Now, I'm going to go back to the background copy. I'm going to call this main face. Now, I'm going to go back to the main face layer, and I'm going to highlight the eyebrow and the eyes with about 1/2 inch around the whole thing, including her little cute wrinkles. Okay, now that's going to be, if I hit Command J, that's going to be her, it's her right eye. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the main face and highlight about 1/2 inch around. I made it a little bit too big there, so I'm going to take away some from the selection right here by holding the Option key. Look at how I'm doing that, and I'm just going to circle that little corner so it's smaller. See? Now, I hit Command J, I double click that, and I name it left eye. Now, each one of these gets a layer mask. So with no selection active, I'm just going to click a layer mask there, see it? I'll click a layer mask there, see it? And I'll click a layer mask there. Now, I'm going to turn those off. Now, I'm going to duplicate the main face, all right? And I'm only going to do this much here, and I'm going to say blank face. Now, all I have to do on this one is use your lasso like this and give it a little bit of an area around it, just like that. Make sure you're selected on it and go to Edit, Fill with Content Aware, and we're going to take the mouth away. Now I'm going to go around her eyebrow and her eyes, including the wrinkles, like that. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go to Edit, Fill with Content Aware, and now I'm going to take that away. Now let's do the same thing over here. Whoops, I made that way too big. So I need to take off this little part here, right? So I hold the Option key, start from the outside, and just remove some of that like this. See how I did that? Okay, now let's make sure we're selected on the blank face. Go to Edit, Fill, Content Aware, boom. Now I haven't touched her nose yet, okay? But now look, I have her eye, it's right there. I have her eye, it's right there, and I have her mouth. Now what I'm going to do is select this, and I'm going to make it smaller, okay? I'm going to give it a little bit of a small feel. I don't even need to enter the liquefy item yet, okay? I'll do that in a second, maybe. So I'm going to select on the image and hit Command T. All right, now, Monica, if I want it to shrink from the center, I hold the, let me practice for a second because, you know, Photoshop changed their transforms, okay? So now I hold the Option key and I click, and it lets me actually go from the center, and the mouth stays in position. Now let me Command Z back and I'll show you the difference. If you don't hold anything down, do you see how it moves to the left? Or it moves to the right. But if you hold the Option key, it moves from the center. Now I have a cute little mouth, okay? Now here's the problem. The edges right here look funny. So if I turn off the face, you can see that that edge right there looks funny on the mouth. So I'm going to turn this off, but I want you to see something. If I click on the mask and hit the B key and make it smaller, and like I said in the writing, right-hand click and make sure it's all the way soft, then make sure your flow is around 10 and you're painting in what color? Black. So let me hit the return key to accept that. And now let's hit the X key to toggle. And now look, I'm going to take away by painting out a little bit smaller brush. And I'm going to make this 15 now that I'm doing this movie for you. But I wouldn't make it any higher than like 20. Okay, so I've made it 15. Now look at how it's allowing me, and I'm going to use the horrible word called erase. Do you see how I'm softening? Whoops. You see how I'm softening the edge of that? And I'm going to go all the way around, right here, all the way around. So be patient with me. And let's go take away the edge of that mouth so it's not so harsh when I turn the face back on. Do you follow what I'm saying? That's why the parts look so bad when you first cut them out. So there, that's probably enough right there. Now look, when I turn the face back on, you can't even tell I did anything. Now let's make let's make the eyes bigger. Okay, so I'm going to click on the right eye. Now let's make them slightly bigger. So I could use Liquify to do that. So I'm going to do that, but I'm only going to make the pupil bigger, and then I'm going to use Command T on it. So let me turn off the face again, and let me turn off the mouth. Now, let's only concentrate on this eye right here. Okay, so I'm going to enter Liquify. Now in Liquify, I get this. Now I'm going to go to a blob brush or a bloat tool. See, in the bloat tool I can still use the bracket keys. Now let me zoom in. Watch how I can bloat this and make it slightly bigger. See how cool that is? Okay, now I'll do 3 clicks on the other eye. So I'm going to say OK. Now let's click on the left eye and turn it on. Now with the image selected, let's go into Liquify. Now let's zoom in and use 3 clicks in the bloat brush, and I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3. I'm going to give it 4 or 5 because that one took a couple more. So now we should have, whoops, I don't like what I did. I should have only used 3 clicks like I said. So let's go to Filter, Liquify, thank God for Command Z, and let's now go 1, 2, 3. There, that's good. Now they look real good, but look at how the edges, Monica, are really harsh. So what do we have to do here? We have to click to the right eye, layer mask, hit what key? Yes, the B key, and I'm going to put this up to 25, but that's the highest I'm going to go because I want to get this done quickly on the screen for you. So I'm going to paint out the edge with black on the layer mask so I can see and give it a really soft edge. Notice how it was important, and I'm going to say this, and I want you to listen to this word, to this phrase. I gave it the important, look at how much 1/2 inch I gave around it, so if I start to erase and soften the edge, I didn't remove the eyebrow. Do you follow what I'm saying? Or the wrinkles. So don't make your cutouts, whoops, I'm painting over here and it's doing nothing. So I have to click to the left eye mask and do the same thing. Now look at how fast you can do this. Now if you go too far with it, what do, Monica? You hit the X key and paint white back. Now I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to go back up here and I'm actually going to take away part of the eyebrow. So I'm going to say, whoops, I didn't want to do that. I hit the X key and you see how I can just paint that back in with white on the layer mask. Now, I might use Command T on both of those to make them bigger or smaller. I don't know. Let's turn on the face. Now, if I click on the right eye, see that? I'm actually going to click on, I'm going to make them both, I'm going to do them independently. I just decided. So I'm going to hit Command T. What do I hold down to make it from the center? I hold Option, grab an edge, make it bigger. Then I'll hit the return key. Look, I'm going to go to the left eye. What do I hit? Command T. What do I hold? Yes, Option, and grab it and make it bigger from the center. Now I've given her an interesting feel. Okay, I probably should stretch this eye up a little bit. So watch this. I'm going to hit Command T again. I'm going to hold the shift key here on the bottom, because if I just grab this, it's going to make it bigger all the way around. I don't want to do that. I only want to take this one right on the bottom and make it deeper, and then hold the shift key and make it taller. And now that feels right. And now here with the mouth is Ellen. And here is Ellen's normal feel. Here is what I've done. I'm so sorry, Ellen. I can't believe I did that. And then I would make her ears bigger, but that should help you a ton. Look at the layer masks. Look at how they soften the edges. Make sure you cut out stuff big enough. For instance, if I were to go back down to the main face, right? Because that's where stuff is, meaning the nose. I'm going to take the lasso. Now I want you to see this. This would be incorrect, Monica. Look at how close I'm getting to the nose. That means there's no area to soften that, right? So I Command D and I go bigger. It doesn't matter how big you go because you can always remove it on the layer mask. Am I right? Okay. Now with the main face selected, what do I hit? Yes, Command J. I'm going to name this nose. Now I'm going to move it up. It doesn't matter where it goes in relationship to these because the nose doesn't touch the eyes or the mouth. Now look, I turn off the main face. For a minute, I'm going to turn on the blank face. Now let's make the nose bigger. I don't know why, but I want to make it bigger. Yeah, let's make her nose bigger. I'm very mean here. So I'm going to turn this off, which is the blank face. Now if I click on the nose, I can hit Command T. Now what do I hold so that it goes from the center out? Yes, Option, grab, make it bigger, like this. It's about big enough. It's about big enough. Now before I do anything, what do I need over here to the right? I need a layer mask because the edges are horrible. And that's where you said it looks bad. So I'm going to hit the B key now, and we're going to, whoops, I'm painting in white. I have to hit the X key again and paint in black. And now I want you to see how cool this is. Look at how I can soften the edge all the way around. In fact, painting at 25 is pretty good because you can get to where you want pretty darn fast. Now I hope that helped. And let me come around the top. Okay, now let's turn on the blank face. Let's turn on the mouth, the right eye, the left eye, and there's what I've done to Ellen. So here's what she was, here's what I've done. And I would make the ears bigger and everything. Hope that helped. Watch this a couple of times.